From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, March 15th, 2016. Silver is trading at $15.27 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,232 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $420. Antiwar.com reports Monday's massive car bombing in the Turkish capital of Ankara, the second such bombing in 3 weeks, is loudly blamed on the Kurdish PKK by ruling officials, hoping to parlay it into increasing support for their ever-escalating war against the Kurdish southeast. Yet, if the claims hold true, it reflects a big problem for the Turkish government that their war against the Kurdish separatists is fueling some pretty major blowback outside of the southeast, and the Erdogan government's gleeful escalation into Kurdish territory, as well as attacks against Kurdish areas in Iraq, aren't making Ankara any safer. Turkey has no shortage of security woes, with a long border with the Islamic State, a war against seemingly every Kurdish group in the region, and a Marxist-Leninist group that launched its own bombing attacks from time to time. The car bombings show an increasing scale of such attacks in Turkey and have security analysts expressing concern that Turkey is going the way of Iraq and Syria, with huge bombings and civilian casualties just part of daily life. As Turkish officials continue to hype the threat, their lack of a realistic response is all the more glaring, as abandoning the ceasefire has made Turkey a dangerous place indeed, and the government's only answer is to keep doubling down on that mistake. The Daily Decrypt is a Monday through Friday newscast about all the best news in cryptocurrencies and peer-to-peer networks. Know what's hot in the world of digital money, borderless trade, and cutting-edge communications. Available on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Facebook video. The Daily Decrypt is the news of the future. UPI reports the Department of Justice on Monday pledged $2.5 million for efforts aimed at preventing local courts in the United States from overcharging poor defendants with fines and fees. The agency announced it was sending a letter on Monday morning to courts in all 50 states, calling on judges and court administrators nationwide to eliminate what it says are unconstitutional policies that have kept poor people in a cycle of fines, debt, and jail, and advising on how to properly levy fines and fees. The letter, penned by Vanita Gupta, head of the agency's Civil Rights Division, and Lisa Foster, director of the Office for Access to Justice, states individuals may confront escalating debt, face repeated unnecessary incarceration for non-payment despite posing no danger to the community, lose their jobs, and become trapped in cycles of poverty that can be nearly impossible to escape. The $2.5 million in grant funding is proposed for localities with plans to test strategies to restructure the assessment and enforcement of fines and fees. The funding and letter come a year after the Justice Department concluded that Ferguson, Missouri Police Department and court system ran a money-making fine and fee program that appeared to disproportionately target minorities. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports New Jersey voters will decide whether to expand gambling beyond Atlantic City, the state's distressed casino hub, after the state legislature on Monday approved a ballot measure for November's election. The state constitutional amendment calls for laws that would allow the creation of 2 new casinos at undecided locations in northern New Jersey, which is close to New York City. Currently, casino gambling is legal in the state only in Atlantic City, which had 4 of its 12 casinos close in 2014 because of increased competition from neighboring states. Don Guardian, the mayor of Atlantic City, has said that expanding gaming will further doom his city's dwindling hold on casinos in the region and could spark further casino closures there. But the Democrats, who control both houses of the state legislature, said expansion was needed. Gary Scher, chairman of the Assembly Budget Committee, said in a statement, "For a state sorely in need of new revenue for vital needs such as programs and property tax relief for senior citizens and disabled residents, this is a win-win. This proposal would help bring a brighter economic future for our state." The measure also calls for the revenue from any new casinos to go back to Atlantic City. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.